Hello, my name is Rossella and today I'm going to do the A paper included in this book published in 2020 by the ABRSM. If you haven't done it yet, click on the red button there and subscribe to my channel to be the first one to watch my new video. You can also follow me on Facebook, Theory Virtuoso, and Instagram, Theory Virtuoso, where I publish lots of things about music to help you revise your knowledge. You can also see when and what I'm going to publish next. Don't forget to visit my website theoryvirtuoso.com. All the links are in the description below. In my website you can find all the videos that I publish. There are music theory videos to help you learn music theory and revise your knowledge, tutorials on discovering music theory by ABRSM, piano tutorials and quizzes to help you boost your confidence and get a distinction in your next exam. Thank you for sharing and liking this video. Subscribe to my channel to become a theory virtuoso. Ciao! Question number 1. Rhythm. We must circle the correct time signature for each of the 3 bars. First of all, we need to see how they are grouped, if it's a compound or simple time. Try to see the groups in the bar, in each bar. For example, this stands on its own and these are all beamed together. So that constitutes one movement and this is definitely the other movement. So I would recommend, why don't we start with the easiest one? This is a crotchet because it's a dotted quaver paired with a semiquaver. Easy peasy, that's a crotchet. Now, if this is a crotchet, this is 2 2/4. 4 demisemiquavers. If you are confused, why don't you go like step by step? 2 demisemiquavers equals 1 semiquaver. And 2 semiquavers equals 1 quaver. So, 1 quaver, 1 quaver, 1 quaver. We have 3 quavers here and 1 crotchet here. So these 3 quavers don't really make up 2/4, so we have to exclude 2/4. And we must exclude 7/8 as well, because there are not 7 quavers. We have 1 quaver here. Let's do it properly. 1 quaver, another quaver, and another quaver, and they are 3. These 2 are 2 quavers. So in total we have 5 quavers. We must exclude 7/8 as well, and the only one left is 5/8. And this is our answer. In the same way, we can do this one. So we have 3 possibilities: 2/4, 5/8, and 9/16. 9/16, this might be careful, but it just means 9 semiquavers in a bar. They are compound times, so they would be grouped in 3, and this is the only simple time. Let's have a look. Again, we see 2 groups of things. One big here and another smaller here. Let's start with the easiest one. 3 semiquavers equals, as a triplet, equals 2 quavers beamed together. In this case, because they form one movement. Now, all these notes here, let's reduce them into quavers, shall we? 1 semiquaver, so 2 demisemiquavers equals 1 semiquaver, okay? 1 semiquaver and 1 semiquaver equals 1 quaver. Same as before, 2 demisemiquavers equals 1 semiquaver, okay? So there is 1 semiquaver here, 1 semiquaver here. In total, there is 1 quaver. So we have 4 semiquavers. Between these time signatures, the only one that corresponds to this kind of grouping and counting is 2/4. Is it clear? Step by step, go upwards from the smallest value. Now let's have a look at this one. We see two groups. At least there is one group here and one made up of these separate things. This group made me think of a compound time. Let's see our possibilities here. We have 7/8, 6/8, and then we have 3/4. That's a simple time. So 2 semiquavers equals 1 quaver, 1 quaver, 1 quaver. We have 3 semiquavers here, 1, 2, and 3 together. And we have 1 quaver dotted that with this semiquaver makes it 2 quavers and another quaver. So other 3 quavers here. Can you see now that this is a 6/8 bar? Because we have 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3. It's a compound time where the quavers are grouped in 3, as opposed to the simple time where the quavers are grouped in 2. Done. Easy. I hope this was useful. Let's move on to the second question. This second question asks us to tick which of the 3 examples would be the same melody written in compound time. So there are some tricks that I can tell you for this. From simple to compound, the triplet becomes normal 3 quavers together. The duplets become an irregular group of notes because they can't fit. 2 quavers can't fit in the movement of 3 quavers that we have in a compound time, and the triplets again would be a normal 3 quavers. So that's it. It's all done, I think. Wherever we see this, that's the answer. So let's have a look. Here we miss the 2 here, the duplet symbol. So it can't be. We must exclude it. On this one, this looks okay. We have 3 quavers here, a duplet symbol here, and 3 quavers here. It could be. Let's see all the possibilities first. And here we have 3 quavers, a duplet symbol, and another triplet symbol. Now we did say that the triplet, a triplet in simple time becomes a simple group of 3 quavers with no further symbols. So this is the correct answer. We must exclude this one, and this is the correct answer. Was it easy? I hope so. Let's move on. This last question of the page asks us to complete the sentences by adding a number. That's all. In 6/4, there are X number of dotted minim beats in a bar. How many are there? 6/4 is a compound time, so it means that there are 6 crotchets in a bar grouped in 3. So that means 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3. So they make 2 dotted minims. Okay, here you are. 2 dotted minims. So 2. Question number 2. A dotted quaver is equal to X number of semiquavers. 1 quaver equals 2 semiquavers, and the dot adds an extra semiquaver. So that would make it 3. That was super quick. Let's move on. This 4th question asks us to tick which bar is grouped correctly. Now here we have 6/16 as the time signature, and 6/16 means, as simple as that, 6 semiquavers in a bar, and the semiquavers are grouped in 3. So 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. That's all. Okay? Now, where do we have this? Nowhere, basically, because we don't have this simple and easy and straightforward situation. So we need to see which of them makes up this. Okay, here we have one semiquaver left apart from the group before. And we can see that this is incorrect because we never have this kind of grouping, 5 on a side and 1 on the other side. So we can exclude it straight away. In this one, we have a similar situation, but still a little bit like strange to have one semiquaver, 4 semiquavers inside and 1 semiquaver outside of the group, of the figure, the shape. Also, the beaming of the 2 middle items, okay, the stand between 2 movements, it never happens. Remember, every time we must see clearly the middle of the bar. And the middle of the bar here is very clear. It's 3 on a side and 3 on the other side. Here, the middle of the bar falls in the middle of this beaming, so it can be correct. Here we do see the middle of the bar very clearly, and we see a balanced thing. So imagine that there is a scale like the ancient ones where you have 2 things on which you put things. Everything, no matter the time signature, unless it's an odd number like 5/8 or 5/4 and 7/4 or 7/8 or something like that. But if it's a regular one, we must have both cups of the same weight. So you can't have like something like this where one is above, okay, and the other one is below because this one is heavier. No, they must be on the same level. And in this case, we have semiquaver, quaver, quaver, semiquaver. So they are mirroring. And if we dismantle the notes and we make them semiquavers, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. And this is the correct answer. Ta-da! Quick, easy, helpful? Let me know. I move on for now. This 5th question asks us to tick or cross, so do not forget to cross when to state that the quavers have been added correctly or incorrectly. So basically you need to be a teacher here. We are in 4/4 and this is a simple time. So we need to see 4 movements. One is here, one is as usual. Let's start with the easiest things. So this is a movement, okay. This is another movement because 1 quaver plus 1 quaver, okay. So 1 and 2. Then we have 1, 2, 3 semiquavers that are in an odd position because they are missing 1 semiquaver, and the other semiquaver is here. Okay, and then we have 2 quavers. So all the values add up correctly. But do you see the middle of the bar? Do you see exactly where 1, 2, the space between 2 and 3 of the movements, 1, 2, 3 and 4, okay, we have 4 movements. Do you see exactly the space between 2 and 3? I can't, because the space has been merged here, has been confusingly merged with this rest. So here this is incorrect, and here the correct answer would have been this 1 quaver and then in a separate grouping these 3. Okay. And this is the middle of the bar, exactly here. Let's move on. We have let's remember, we must visualize 4 movements. This is 2 movements, okay, minim. So that's the middle of the bar. This is another movement because we have a quaver, 2 quavers, so 1 crotchet, 1, 3 and 4, and this is 2. And the middle of the bar is exactly here. And this tie demonstrates that actually this is the middle of the bar. They couldn't merge this. So for example, they couldn't put a dotted minim here, even if 1 crotchet plus 1 minim equals a dotted minim. They couldn't do it because if you would do it, you would mess up the middle of the bar, and you can't. We have to see 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Let me write it down actually. 4/4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this space must be left clearly visible. Let me rub this out because this is confusing. Also, this is correct. Now the last bar we have, again we must look for 4 movements, 2 plus 2. We have 1 here, the 4th is here, and the 2nd and the 3rd again are merged together. They can't be joined, so they must have 2 separate rests here. So this is incorrect, and I hope this was clear. Let me know. Chapter 2, pitch. Here we have, in the first question, we need to tick one of these boxes that show the name, the correct name of this note. We have the tenor clef here. The tenor clef is treble clef minus 1. So if you read this note in a treble clef, then go down 1 step and you find the name. This in treble clef is B, C. Now, if you're not sure, you can count. This is Sol, okay, in treble clef, okay? La and C. C minus 1 equals A. There you go. So B minus 1 equals A. If you are not sure, you can count from this line where the 2 bubbles of the C clef meet. And this is middle C. So Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, A. Straightforward, easy peasy. In the second question, we need to tick 1 box that shows the correct enharmonic equivalent of this given note. And the given note is, in treble clef, B sharp. Now B sharp is a semitone above B. Let's have a look. In this keyboard we have B sharp, 1 semitone higher. This equals also Do, but is also Re, 1, 2 semitones below. So 1 tone below Re is Re double flat. So we can call this note Do, C sharp, or Re double flat. Easy? Let's go back to our paper and write the answer. And here's the answer. So it can be Do sharp, because Do sharp would be Re flat, or C double sharp. It can be Do flat because Do flat is B, or La double sharp. Let's move on. This third question asks us to tick, so to be again the teacher of our imaginary student, to tick or cross whether each of these items is correctly written a perfect fifth lower than the given bar and key signature. Now let's forget about the key signature for now, and let's go to the intervals. Do a fifth, a perfect fifth down from do would be fa. So this is fa, and it's correct because it's 3.5 tones. The lower fifth from mi would be la. No further accidentals. So this is also correct because it's again 2.5 tones. Now a perfect fifth from fa, down from fa, can be B because it's missing one, so it's shorter. The interval is shorter, not 3.5 tones, but 3 tones. And this has to be a bit lower, so it should have had a flat. So this is why we can cross that out. Lower fifth from re sharp equals so sharp because it's again 3.5 tones. Now, this key signature is the key signature of A major or F sharp minor. Now, we don't even need to know, okay? Because from the last sharp, we go up by a semitone. So sharp, semitone up means A, okay? So A major or F sharp minor. It doesn't matter now, as I said. F lower fifth from A would be D. So our new melody would be in either D major, Re major, or B minor. It doesn't matter to state whether it's minor or major because they both share the key signature. So this is incorrect because this key signature belongs to G major or E minor. It misses another sharp, another sharp here. So this is incorrect. Let's move on. This fourth question asks us to circle whether the statements are true or false. Now, it's all about pitch. So remember what I said in one of my videos. If the pitch you want to know, middle C, are you above or below? Here, this is the tenor clef and middle C is here. In the treble clef, middle C is down here. In bass clef, middle C is here. This is middle C. So let's just write it. This is middle C. Shall we actually circle it or draw it? And this is middle C. Okay. A and B are at the same pitch. A and B. This is D flat just above middle C. This is D flat an octave higher than middle C. So it is false. A is an octave higher than C. So this D flat is an octave higher than this D flat, but as you can see, you can see it from the circle, they are just one note above both, they are a note above middle C. So this statement is also incorrect. B is an octave higher than C. So this D flat is an octave higher than this D flat, and this is correct because middle C is here and middle C is down here. And as you can see, when you draw down or circle middle C is all much easier and straightforward. So again, let's go back to my memorime. If the pitch you want to know, middle C, are you above or below? This is so useful. I'm including all the links of my theory videos in the description below. So if you were uncertain, you can always go watch the videos and improve or revise your knowledge. For now, we move on and we go on to keys and scales. In this third section of the exam about keys and scales, we are asked in the first two questions to tick one box that shows the key signature of G flat major correctly written. In one of my videos, 2B, and the link is in the description below, I say that the right key signatures have also a particular shape that remains the same. So if we know the shape, we know the right key signatures. The key signatures with flats looks like a descending, zigzagging shape, like this. And some of them don't have it, so we can exclude it straight away. For example, this one. And for example, well, this one, because of course this is incorrect, but let's go in order. In bass clef, this is B, okay, so C, mi, this is not E, but it's F, so goodbye. In the tenor clef, this is Do, so this is C. Si, mi, la, re, sol, do. That looks correct. Now, if this is wrong, this is definitely our answer. Let's see. Alto clef, this is Do, so this is Si. Si, mi, la, re, and this is not Sol, because this is Sol in bass clef. So, goodbye, I'm so sorry for you. And our winner is the tenor clef. Let's move on to the next one with sharps. Now, the shape of the right key signatures with sharps are in fact two. One for the tenor clef and one for all the other clefs. The tenor clef is a zigzagging ascending wave, and the other clefs have three waves, of which the second one is longer. And let's see, we can exclude this one absolutely, because this is the alto clef and it doesn't have this shape. The one with a treble clef here, it starts well, but then look at this is too long. It should have gone up. So basically this mi should have been written here. So we must cross this out. The tenor clef should be an ascending sequence of waves. So Fa, Do, Sol, Re, La, Mi. That looks correct. Let's find out if this is incorrect, and our winner will still be the tenor clef. Let's see. Fa, even the first note is wrong here. So we can't really accept this. So bye-bye. Also, the shape was incorrect. So our winner is again the tenor clef. Easy? If this thing about the shapes is surprising you because it's so easy, go and have a look at the description below and find the link of 2B. I think that it's very helpful to go via the shapes. It really makes everything easier. Okay, for now I move on. In this exercise 3, we are asked to circle the correct key of each of these melodies, 2-bar melodies. First, we need to look at the accidentals and see whether the key could be with sharps or flats. This one is definitely with flats because they are most of the accidentals are flats. So we can definitely exclude D major because it has just sharps, and G major because it has sharps. The flats are B and E, and C and Mi are the first two flats of any key signature. And when we have two flats, we could be in B flat major or G minor. So just by chance, there are the two left options in our possible answers. And let's see, this fa sharp is actually telling us the solution, because fa sharp is the leading note of G minor, and fa sharp can never be in B flat major, because if we have a melody in B flat and we have fa sharp, it means that we have modulated to G minor, or there's going to be a G minor chord. So the answer is G minor. The next one, still with flats. G flat minor, D flat major, B flat major, and F minor. All of them have flats in their key signature, so we can't exclude anything yet. Let's see, we have Si, Mi, La, Re, and Sol. Now the key signature that has 5 flats is Si, Mi, La, Re, Sol. Re is our penultimate flat, and that is D flat major is our key signature. So straight away here, guys. And let's go by exclusion now. F minor is the relative minor of A flat major. A flat major has 4 flats. This means that Si, Mi, La, Re, Sol. So this G flat can't be in A flat major. B flat major has, as we said before, 2 flats, so there are too many flats here for B flat major. And G flat minor is a relative minor of B flat major, and B flat major has, do you want to know? Yes, Si, Mi, La, Re, Sol, Do, Fa. We can't even tell. So G flat minor is in fact A sharp minor, the relative minor of C sharp major that has 7 sharps, so it doesn't even exist, in fact. Okay, last one. We have flats again, and let's see, E flat major, C minor, F minor, A flat major. So all of them have flat in their key signature, so we can't again exclude anything yet. Let's see, Si, Mi, La. We have 3 flats. With 3 flats, we can be in E flat major or in C minor. And which note can tell us the truth? Again, the leading note. This B natural here is the leading note of C minor. So again, the answer is C minor because of that. Let's exclude the other 2. F minor is the relative minor of A major. So A major has 4 flats, and we would have had this note flat if it would have been one of these 2. So C minor is our answer. I hope it's useful. Let's move on now. In this 4th question, we need to tick one box for X and another box for Y in order to make an A major scale in alto clef. So A major has 3 sharps, and we know this because from A we go a semitone lower, that's G sharp, and then we count Fa, Do, Sol, 3 sharps. Okay, so let's have a look. In this case, we would write a note here. There is Fa, La, Sol, Fa. Fa, would that be Fa or Fa sharp? Well, guys, Fa sharp is the first sharp in any key signature. So, of course, this is the answer. It's quite straightforward in this one because Fa is really the first. So, La, Sol, Fa, Mi, Re, Do, Si, a B here. Now this B would be B or B sharp. Let's see. So B, is it included in our key signature? Let's see. Fa, Do, Sol. I didn't say B or C, so B natural. And this is it. In our next question, we are asked to circle one of the clefs that would make these scales minor scales. So, to do that, we must read the notes correctly. Otherwise, it won't be a minor scale. So, let's try. If this would be B flat, okay, in the treble clef, we need to consider the key signature of D flat major. So, Si, Mi, La, Re, Sol. 5 flats. Si, Mi, La. Let's put an asterisk here. Sol, Si, Mi, La, Re, and Sol. This La should have been flat, but it might have been raised up to make a harmonic scale. So the treble clef seems to be correct. However, let's try with the other ones. So we exclude them and we are absolutely sure that our answer is correct. In the bass clef, this note will be D. So D flat minor would be the relative minor of F flat major, but it doesn't exist. So we can exclude the bass clef. So in the alto clef, this note is +1, so that will be Do flat minor. Do flat minor, there's a possible relative minor of E double flat major, that in fact is D major, so it doesn't exist, so we can cross that out. In the tenor clef, this note will be A flat, again minor, so A flat minor, a possible minor scale from C flat minor, but C flat major, but C flat major doesn't exist. Instead, it's called B major with sharps, so we can also exclude this one. So the right answer is the treble clef. Let's go to the second example. Now, this is a descending scale. As a descending scale, we can have a minor harmonic, minor melodic of the natural version. In the harmonic, the 7th degree is raised up. So let's consider, for example, Fa and Sol sharp and Re sharp. We can see that this can be possible because the order of sharps is Fa, Do, Sol, Re, La, and Do is missing. So these two. So definitely this is not the treble clef. Let's try in the bass clef. F, B sharp, and D sharp. Again, when we don't see Fa sharp, it's wrong because Fa is the first sharp. So if we don't have Fa sharp, there's no minor key unless we are in A minor. But this is not the case because in A minor we would have either no flats or sharps or just one sharp, the leading note. So it's not the bass clef. In the alto clef, this is +1, so this note will be Re, D. Okay, so Re, Mi sharp, so this will be Mi sharp, this will be La sharp, and this will be Do sharp. Again, there's no Fa sharp, so I don't think this is correct. Now our last option is the tenor clef, and as per the tenor clef, this note will be called B. Okay, so this is Do sharp, this is Fa sharp, and this is La sharp, that in fact is the leading note of B minor, and B minor is the relative minor of D major, and D major has two sharps, Do and Fa, and it is exactly B minor. So our answer is the tenor clef. So we can use several techniques to find out the right answer. Sometimes we use the visual aid. Sometimes we count. Sometimes we calculate. Sometimes we use logic. But what is important is that you check that the other answers are incorrect. Otherwise, Ask yourself what you've missed out. Let's go to the last question. In which clef we would read this note as this scale as a minor scale? This is the question. So let's try. In treble clef, this will be D. So would you expect Fa flat and Sol flat? It doesn't really exist. The first flat is B. So if we don't see this flat, it means that it's not the treble clef. Let's see if it is in the bass clef. Fa, Sol, La flat, Si flat, Do, Re, Mi, Fa. This could be a melodic ascending scale of F minor. Okay, because F minor is the relative minor of A flat. A flat has 4 flats, Si, Mi, La, Re. La and Si are flat, Re and Mi should be flat, but in the melodic minor, in the ascending version, they are raised up. So it might be that they have been raised up for this reason. So let's take it into consideration. Let's move on to the next two and see if we can cross them out. In the alto clef, this note would be Mi. Mi minor has sharps, so this is already incorrect. So goodbye. In the tenor clef, this would be Do, and C minor is the relative minor of E flat major. E flat major has 3 flats, Si, Mi, and La. And in this case, Do, Re, Mi, this is flat, but then Fa flat can't exist. So we can easily exclude this one, and our correct answer is this. And I can do this just to make it very neat. Okay, easy? We move on now. In this next question, we must circle true or false if we think that this statement is correct or incorrect. It relates to the chromatic scale. So, is this a chromatic scale beginning on B flat? Yes or no? Let's see. In the bass clef, this is B flat. So, Si flat, La, La flat, Sol, So flat, Fa, Mi, Mi flat, Re, Re flat, Do, Do flat, Si flat. This looks correct because Do flat, this is not really used, but still you can. So, Si, La, La flat, So, So flat, Fa, Mi, Mi flat, Re, Re flat, Do, Do flat, Si flat. Are there 13 notes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yes, there are. So I think this is true. Is this a correct scale, chromatic scale beginning on D, ascending? It starts and ends on D. And let's see the number of notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There are 13 notes, so it could be correct. Let's see. Re, Mi, Mi sharp, Fa, Fa sharp, Sol, So sharp, La, Si flat, Si natural, Si sharp, Do sharp, and Re. Okay. These 3 notes, they have the same note but different accidentals, are usually not accepted. So I don't think this is correctly written. In the end, it is a chromatic scale, but I don't think that this is correctly written. So I would say that this is false. there is a little trick here. We never have 3 notes with the same name. We don't need it. We can use enharmonic equivalence for that, to avoid that. Okay, so let's move on to the last question of keys and scales. And this last question asks us, again, to circle true or false, depending on whether this statement is correct or not. So let's see. This is the submediant of C minor. Okay, C sharp minor. This note La is the submediant of C sharp minor. Okay, let's simplify this statement. The submediant is the 6th degree of C sharp minor. So let's count. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la. Okay, A is the note, but is it natural A? Is it flat? Is it sharp? We need to see it. Now, C sharp minor is the relative minor of E major, and E major has 4 sharps. To get there, from E, we go a semitone lower, we find D sharp, and then we count Fa, Do, Sol, Re. Okay, 4 sharps. Have I named La in these in this key signature? Fa, Do, Sol, Re. I haven't. So this could be the submediant of C sharp minor. The second example says that this D is the dominant of G sharp minor. The dominant is the 5th degree. So G sharp is the relative minor of B major, and B major has 5 sharps. Again, to get there, B, A sharp, and then we count Fa, Do, Sol, Re, La. 5 sharps. Now, Re, okay, have I named the word Re when I said the sharps in order? I think I did. Fa, Do, Sol, Re. So the 5th degree of G sharp minor would be D sharp, not D. So this is incorrect. False. That's the easiest. I love when they say leading note. It's just 1 semitone below. This so sharp is the leading note of A major. Now, 1 semitone below A is G sharp. So yes, it is true. If you want to go the other way around, you can say that the 7th degree of A major is G, and then you figure out is that G if sharp by saying the name of the sharps included in the key signature. The semitone below A major, A is G sharp, Fa, Do, Sol, so sharp. Yeah, we said that already. Easy peasy, very quick, extremely quick. I hope this is useful. Let me know. For now, we move on. This 4th section relates to intervals. So let's see what the first question asks us to do. Tick 1 box to name each interval. So we need to figure out which interval is that, and then tick the box that has the same name. The notes here are B and F, C and Fa. Now, this is clearly a compound interval because it's longer than an octave. To figure out the non-compound version of this, we just raise it up of an octave. So this C goes to here. C Fa. C Fa is a 5th. Now, could it be compound diminished 5th? It could, yes. Compound diminished, we need to see if this is a diminished 5th. A perfect 5th from Fa, okay, so basically you have to go down a perfect 5th, would be B flat. But because this is B natural, The fifth is diminished because the distance is shortened. So instead of B flat, Fa, we have B flat. So it is compound diminished fifths. Shall we exclude the other three? Let's see. So we have diminished 11th. So an 11th from C would be 8, 9, 10, 11th. So that means Si, Do, Re, Mi. That would be an E. Okay. A minor 12 can be because it's perfect or diminished or augmented. And augmented fourth, that's not enough, honestly. This is not a fourth. So we can't accept that. Okay. So again, I just want to double check if my correct answer is really correct, or I have done something wrong in my calculation, and I would recommend you to do the same when you take your test. Now let's see this one. We have three flats, so this is A flat and this is Mi, E flat. Mi, that's a fifth. Shall we exclude a minor sixth? So why do we say fifth? Because it's La, Si, Do, Re, Mi. So we have to say the notes one by one in order, and then we find the main number. In this way, we can exclude all of them. So it is a perfect fifth. Easy peasy, guys. Okay, why is it not a fourth? Because this note would have been called D, with a sharp, with a natural, with a flat, whatever you want, but this would be a D. Same as here, and to call it sixth, this would have been an F. Okay, so because it's a E, flat, natural, sharp, whatever you want, is a fifth. This is the only fifth option that we have here. In treble clef, this is Sol and this is Fa flat. Now this is a compound interval, so we can exclude a major 7, and we don't know about these. We need to find out. Let's make it a non-compound, so a simple interval, by raising this note up by an octave. So Sol Fa flat is a seventh. 8 plus 7 doesn't make 13 because it's an octave plus a fifth that makes it a 13. So we can exclude this one as well. Major 7th, we can exclude it too. Now, would we call a semitone a minor 7th or a diminished 7th when our semitone is flattened? Our interval is the second note is flattened, so we reduce the distance. Sol Fa is a 7th, okay, and to find out whether it's major or minor, we need to flip them round. So instead of taking it as Sol Fa, we take it as a Fa Sol. Fa flat Sol is an augmented 7 because an augmented second, because Sol Fa flat is widening the distance, so it is augmented. Because it's flipped round, it's diminished. So compound diminished 7th. If it would be minor, we will have Fa Sol, Sol Fa natural, so without the flat. Sol Fa is a minor 7th. Fa flat is a diminished 7th because the distance is shortened further. Okay? Easy? I hope so. For now, we move on to the next one. The second question asks us to circle the type of each interval. So, Fa sharp, E flat, bass clef. Watch out for the clefs. If you read them incorrectly, you're going to answer incorrectly to the question. So, Fa sharp, E. First of all, let's figure out what kind of interval it is. So fa, sol, la, si, do, re, mi is a seventh. Now to figure out what kind of distance there is here, there are so many tricks that you can use, but the quickest is this. Flip them round and go here. Mi flat and fa. Mi fa is a minor second. If you raise it up here, fa sharp, okay, so let me do it here. Mi fa. Sorry, let's have another one. Okay, mi fa is a second. If we increase the distance, that would be a major second. If we increase further the distance, that would be an augmented. So the answer here is augmented. So again, mi fa is a minor second. Mi fa sharp is a major second, and mi flat, fa sharp, is augmented because it's a further step out. The second example gives us la and fa sharp. Watch out for these things. This is a compound. This is a compound interval, but it doesn't really matter for this exercise. We raise it up by an octave and we find a simple interval. La, fa, let's count. La, si, do, re, mi, fa is a sixth. La, fa sharp is a sixth. Now again, we can flip them round and we make it easier for us. Fa sharp, la, is a minor third. Because we flip them round, it becomes a major, so major. There you go. A compound major sixth. The last example tells us about this interval, re and la sharp, bass clef, re, la sharp, D, A sharp. This is a fifth, okay. Re, la would be the perfect fifth. Because it's sharp, so you're widening the distance, it becomes augmented. That's it. Easy and quick. Let's move on. In this fourth question, we need to write the notes to form the indicated interval. And they tell us very clearly that the note should be higher. Now don't forget this, because this costs marks. Higher, higher. Compound major sixth. Okay, let's read this note first, shall we? This is mi, re, do, si, la, sol. This is sol flat. A major sixth, let's figure out the name of the note first. Sol, la, si, do, re, mi. So that would be mi, because it's compound. Let's write it straight away here. Okay, now let's see if we need a flat or sharp or natural or whatever. A major sixth flipped round becomes a minor third. Okay, and let's see if sol flat, mi and sol flat is a minor third. This is a minor third. Mi, fa, sol is a minor third, and flat is a diminished, so it's more than. So to make it minor, we need to add a semitone, and the only way is to put a flat here. So mi flat, sol flat would be a minor third. So we need a flat here to make it a major sixth. Then compound, because it's an octave higher. So it would be here, but then an octave higher. because it's compound. So this is the answer. Example B. A B flat, an augmented third from B flat. Okay. B flat, a major, let's say, a minor third from B flat would be D flat. Okay. D natural would be a major third, and to make it augmented we must add a sharp to D, so D sharp. Let me give you an example. B flat, a minor third is 3 semitones, 1, 2 and 3. This is a minor third. To make it major, we go upper semitone. And to make it augmented, we go upper semitone. Now this note can't be called E flat. If you call it E flat, you make it a fourth. Si, do, re, mi. We can't have a fourth, we must have a third. So we must call this note si, do, re, re. That's the name of the note. Which re? Re sharp. Okay, I hope this is useful. A minor sixth from do, sharp, because fa do, that is sharp, okay, do sharp. So never call, let's not call it do, but do sharp. So do sharp, a minor sixth, okay, is a major seventh. So is a major second. So a minor seventh is a major second flipped round. So it means that I should write B, because of course we need to write a second, and do sharp, a major second, having do sharp would make this B. B do sharp is a major second. So we put it an octave higher, and sorry, it should have been. So we put it an octave higher, and this is B. So this is our minor seventh. Do sharp, B. Because the interval with the notes flipped around would be B, C sharp, a major second. A major second flipped around makes it a minor seventh. A minor second from me is fa, is 1 semitone. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Done! I hope this was useful. Let's move on. Our next section asks us to answer questions about chords. The first question says that we need to indicate the Roman numeral that tells us which chord each bar presents. And we have 5 boxes and 5 points. So each of them would give us 1 point. And we should not forget that the chords will make 2 cadences. And be mindful of that, because you can exclude lots of chords if you think of the cadences. So let's see. We are in F major. Definitely there is 1 flat, so it's either F major or D minor, but I think this is F major because we have fa fa, and then here we'll see. So F major. In this bar, some of the notes are passage notes, and if we consider B flat, D and F, that could make a chord, and the chord is the 4th chord. E is an extra note, is a passage note, is clearly a passage note because these three form a chord. And this chord for F major is the B flat chord that for F major is the chord on the 4th degree of the scale. La fa is a third, and la, fa and la are the first two notes of F major chord. So that is the first. Fourth and first make a plagal cadence, so that makes sense. Let's carry on. Si, sol, si, re. As you can see, I am already figuring out the order of the notes so I can play them like a chord, like that. Sol, si, re. This gives me the root position of the chord, and I can see which of them it is. Sol, si, re is G minor chord that in F major is the 2nd degree, so 2. Then we have do, fa and la, so fa la do, F major, so that's the first one. And the last one is sol, mi, do, mi, sol, C major chord, that for F is the 5th degree. So this is an imperfect cadence. Easy? So there is just this passage note that you can identify by thinking that this chord, I mean, it could be first, it can be the first because there's no A and there's no C. The second chord will be G, B flat and D, and there's no G here. The 4th degree is B flat, D and F, so that's it. And the 5th degree is C, E and G. So because you can identify the notes and then figure out what the chord is, you can also write them down on a paper. You can take notes in the exam if you bring a blank paper. So you can actually the best way is to write the note names of the chords here. That's fa, la, do, sol, si flat, re, and then you will find the passage notes. I think this is the safest way to answer correctly this question. For now, we move on and we talk again about chords. In this second question, we are asked to tick the box that shows the right cadence that we have here. We are in C major, and the chords are F major chord and C major chord. Now, fa, do, la, fa. You can write the names of the notes here. Okay, F, C, F, A. F is doubled, so let's cancel it. Now, which order of the notes would make you play the chord having this shape, hand shape? Let's see, F, A and C. You need to combine the notes in different ways, so you can have F, A, C, the notes in order. F, A, C is the F major chord. So F major is the 4th degree of C major. So play go. 4-1. So again, the best way is to write the names of the notes. F, C, F, A. F is doubled, let's cross it out. Then we have fa, sol, la, si, do. So F, A, C, that's the order. F, A, C, that's F major chord. Okay, if we do the same here, that would be C, C, E and G. So C is doubled. Now do, re, mi, fa, sol, that's already in position. Do, mi, sol, C major. F and C. C is the first. and F is the fourth degree. So that's a plagal cadence. Okay, does it make sense? Let's try this other cadence. We are in D major and we have E. So mi, sol, mi, si. Now, E is repeated. Let's see if we can put them in order. Mi, fa, sol, la, si. So I recite the scale and see if they are consecutive. And this is an E minor chord. So E minor. For D major, E is the second degree. Now, this other chord is made up of A, C sharp, and A. A is repeated, La, Do sharp, La, Do sharp. Okay, La, Do sharp is a third, and the missing note is E, La, Do sharp, Mi. And it's an A major chord. A major for D major is the fifth degree. So the cadence 2-5 is the imperfect cadence. Okay, easy? How did you find it? Easy or not? Let me know, write a comment. For now, I move on to the third and last question about chords. They ask us to tick which chord is correct by analysing the chord and position of these three chords, A, B and C. We are in F major. So, in F major, here we have, this is similar to the previous ones, but let's do it properly. Fa, we have Fa, we have B flat, and we have D. Now, to figure out the root position of this chord, we need to say the notes in order. Fa, Sol, La. So that's not the first note of the chord. They have to be a third apart. So Si flat, Do, Re, okay, Mi, Fa. Okay, so this Fa is here above. Sorry, that's not really clear. So let me write it in order here. B flat, D and F. This is a B flat chord. B flat for F major is the fourth degree. So this is the fourth. Now, which note is in the bass? Is it Fa? Is it B flat? So root position. Is it D, first inversion? Or is it F, second inversion? Is F, second inversion. So we are looking for C, because this is for A, for B, and for C. So we're looking for C, and here it is. So this is the right answer. Second chord, we have G. Let me actually write it here so I have more space. G, E, and C. Let's recite the notes in order as if we would have a scale. Sol, La, Si. No, this is not the first note. Mi, Fa, Sol. This is not the first note. So let's see how we can combine them. Let's put G here on the top. Do, Re, Mi. No, it can't be on the top. Let's put the second note here. Do, Re, Mi. Okay. Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol. Okay, so we found the root position of the chord. Do, Mi, Sol. Now, Do, Mi, Sol is a C major chord. C major for F major is the fifth degree. And let's have a look if it's root position, first inversion, or second inversion. G is the second inversion. So we are looking for 5C. And here it is. Excellent. The last chord is A, made up of A, C, F, F. F is doubled, so we can rub it out. Now let's see if they are in order. La, Si, Do, okay. Re, Mi. No, that's incorrect. So let's try to put A here on the top. Do, re, mi. No, that is incorrect. So it is do, re, mi. That can be. So let's try to put it here. Fa, sol, la, si, do. Yes, so this is the right order of the notes. It's not really clear, isn't it? Fa, sol, la, si, do. Fa, la, do. F major. F major. For F major, that's the most difficult question, is the tonic. So, first degree, 1. And which note is at the bottom? Is it the first one? Is it the second one? Or the third? A is the base note of the chord. So it's the second, it's the first inversion, B. 1B. Here it is. Done, quickly done. Are you happy? Did you understand my technique? Was it helpful? Let me know, write it in the comments. Thank you. Let's move on now. The 6th section of our A exam, of our online exam, is about terms, signs and instruments. Let's have a look. What does vite means? Vite is a French word to say fast, allegro, so quick. Allegro. Traurig is a German word for sad. Perdendosi is an Italian word for dying away. I'm afraid the only way to do this, guys, is to learn the terms by heart. So you really need to repeat them and maybe write them down as well. That also helps, and you have to continually repeat them, especially because that's the other way. That's the only way to memorize them, by repeating them. Okay. Now let's move on to the next one. Take the name of the ornament as it is developed on the score. So we have 2 notes that are the same and one is the lower note. This is a clear lower mordant. The trill is longer, acciaccatura is just 1 note above the note, and then the real note would be longer. Appoggiatura, it's similar to the acciaccatura, but it's a little bit less. It's a little bit less quick, let's say it that way. So that's clearly a lower mordant. The next one is exactly what we said about the acciaccatura. We have 1 upper note, 1 lower note, and the note is longer. The lower note is longer, so this is an acciaccatura. The upper mordant can be, because we would have the same figure that we have here, 2 1 2, not 2 1, 2 1 2, but we would have 2 3 2, okay, for the upper mordant. The turn is a gruppetto, and the notes have this shape. So for example, 2 3 2 1 2, and this is not the case, and the trill would be longer, so okay, so it can be. There you go, finished. That was very quick. Let's move on to the next one. In this 3rd question, we need to circle true or false, depending on these statements are correct or incorrect. The violin sometimes uses the alto clef. I'm afraid not. Actually, the treble clef in other languages is called violin clef, so it's really appropriate for the violin. So I'm afraid this is false, because the violin uses only the treble clef. The oboe is the highest sounding woodwind instrument. Well, The woodwind instruments are also piccolo and flute, and I don't think that the oboe is higher than the flute. So I think this is also false. The trombone has a higher range than the tuba. Now the tuba is the lowest sounding instrument, brass instrument. So I think that this is correct. The tuba is the lowest sounding brass instrument. The bassoon is a transposing instrument, and this is incorrect. Again, to answer these questions, you only need to read and learn and read and learn and repeat what is written in the books. A viola might be played arco, yes, because arco is the bow, it's the Italian word for bow. So yes, of course, as opposed to pizzicato, where they have to pluck the strings instead of using the bow and rub them. Okay, finished. That was very quick. Let's move on to the next page. In this 7th section of our exam, we need to look at this score and answer the questions listed. This is a piece for violin and piano. In this first question, we need to tick the correct statement. And this means that only one statement is correct. So, as usual, we would find that one and then exclude the other ones as well. Only A and C are correctly written 2 octaves lower. This is a question about pitches, and as usual, the memorime. If the pitch you want to know, middle C, are you above or below? Middle C here is up here. Middle C here is in the tenor clef is here, and middle C in the alto clef is here. Now, A and C, 2 octaves lower. We need to compare these bars to the violin part. For practical reasons, I'm going to write it here. Okay, and this sol is up here. Middle C is down here. Only A and C are correctly written 2 octaves lower. 2 octaves lower means that this is 1 octave lower, and this sol below middle C is 2 octaves lower, so that would be here. Okay, this note is above middle C, this note is above middle C, and this note is below middle C. It's the only one below middle C. So which statement tells us that? Only A and C are 2 octaves lower? No. Only A is correctly written 2 octaves lower? Yes. Let's check if these other two are incorrect. Only A and B are 2 octaves lower? No, because this is an octave higher. This is higher, so it's not 2 octaves lower. A, B and C are all 2 octaves lower, and this is incorrect as well. So this is the correct answer. Done. Perfect. Let's move on to the next page. That is our last page of our exam paper. As usual, we need to circle whether this statement is true or false. The violin should be played sweetly. Now, if we look at our score, it's written dolce. So yes, dolce means sweet. So true. G minor is the relative minor key of E flat major. Now the relative minor key of E flat is 3 semitones below E flat. That is C minor. So it's not G minor. I'm afraid this is false. The widest interval in the violin part is a perfect fourth. Let's see if we find a perfect fourth. And because we have found a perfect fifth, this is incorrect. The lowest note in the extract is C. It isn't C, so this is false. The speed of the music is very slow, and it's not very slow, so that is incorrect. False. Question 3. Which instrument can play the violin part so it sounds the same pitch? Now, double bass and bassoon are very low, so we can exclude them. And timpani is a percussion instrument that can't really play that high, so the only one is the flute. And the flute and violin sometimes share some pieces, for example, a sonata by Prokofiev for piano, and it could be the violin or it could be the flute. So they really share the same score, like viola and clarinet as well. The viola and clarinet, for example, share lots of scores by Brahms. So yeah, sometimes the instruments do share the scores. And the next question is, how many times does the submediant note of the key of E flat major appear in the violin part? So the submediant note is the 4th degree, okay? And for E flat is A flat. And if we count, we find out that there is only one A flat in the violin score. So 1. The very last question of our exam paper asks us to complete the sentences by adding a number. Bar X contains the tonic chord in the second inversion of E flat major. Now, second inversion of E flat major, so E flat, G and B flat, that is the chord, okay? The third inversion would be B flat, E flat and G. So where we find these notes would be our bar number, and we find it in the piano part, 3rd bar, so bar 3. Another bar contains the chord of G major. Now G major is Sol, Si, Re. C is flat in this score, so where we find B natural, this is our chord, and B natural is exactly only in bar 7, so bar 7. And this exam paper is completed. I hope this was useful. Let me know, and especially let me know if my explanations are clear enough for you. Otherwise, I will just make them more clear. Easy. Thank you very much. Subscribe to my channel. Don't forget, like and share my video, and good luck with your exam. Ciao, ciao.